Welcome everyone to the CCL Halftime Show. I am Kyle Fergusson, and today I am joined by 30K's healer player, Legacy. Welcome to you, Legacy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to talk to you again. You have 2 CCL victories under your belt at this point, and now playing for 30K. How did you get involved in CCL in the first place?
Well, I was involved in the amateur scene before CCL started up. Prior to CCL starting, there were a whole bunch of in-houses. I played in those, and then unfortunately I didn't get drafted in season 1, but did get picked up part of the way through season 1, and then went on to win a few championships. So
it's a good run. You've had a good run, and now 30K is looking amazing for you all. Right now you're in a 4-0 lead over the season, 12-2. Can you tell us how the team's feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, the team's feeling great. I think it's something where a lot of us have at least some familiarity playing with each other. I know like Cattle and Liam played together in the past. Kira and I played together in the past. And then we also played with Madara down in the Miami land. So we all have some familiarity with each other. And I think, you know, kind of before the season started, when we were, you know, figuring out who all we wanted to play with and things like that, we realized that kind of all of our personalities and everything would work well together on the team. So it's been really fun this season.
Wait, I wasn't aware of that. So at the Defrost Miami LAN, you played with quite a bit of your current team?
Yeah, so it was Kira, Madara, and myself all played there.
Yeah.
And then it was Fancy Pants and Unaverted for the other 2.
Very cool. And you've been with Kira now for 3 CCL seasons?
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically 4, but the 3rd one, he was our 6th man, so he didn't really play. But yeah, pretty much the whole time I've been with Kira. So
wow,
it's been a fun time.
Yeah. What's that like? I know Cure handles a lot of your drafts, and in fact, Justin last week was saying you all had the most well put together and thought out drafts of the entire weekend that he saw. How is the team structured, and how do Kira and you kind of bring energy into that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kira's been drafting really well. He's been drafting pretty much since like midway through season 1. Season 1, Lutano was drafting like the first half of the year, and then Kira took over, and he's been drafting ever since then. And I think some people may question his drafting. There's a nice little sound clip if you go to his channel. But I think from an overall standpoint, you know, you can look at the success he's had and see that, you know, drafting is a big part of it. So I think he does really well with it. I know, you know, from my standpoint, I try to do whatever I can to help out, you know, whether that be, you know, scouting other teams and what they like to draft and prioritize, and kind of feed him that info, or just from a stats perspective, kind of fill him in on, you know, things we're having success with or things we're struggling with. So no, it's been a really great situation, and, you know, couldn't really ask for, you know, for myself to be, if you're gonna be attached to somebody, you know, for 4 seasons, you know, Kira's a pretty good guy to be with.
Awesome to hear. Awesome. Well, glad the team's doing so well. Your comms have evolved quite a bit since the very first weekend of season 4. Not quite a democracy system, more maybe a we'll all talk at the same time and something gets done. And now, when we tuned in this last weekend, something happened. You're all still contributing. It's not a single shot caller, but you all have found a lot more purpose. What does that feel like on your end?
Well, it definitely feels better. I know that whenever you guys have jumped in our comms in the past, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, cluttered, or, you know, things like that, or descriptive words that are used. And I guess maybe I'm used to the chaos after being with it for several seasons, because, you know, playing with Kieran Lutano, it was a ton of that as well. So to me, like, I would hear it and like hear you guys say it's cluttered. I'm like, that didn't seem too bad. But I mean, I definitely know from like my personal standpoint, I've toned down my comms. I think we have a luxury where, like, Madara was shot calling on Oxygen, Kira was shot calling here, you know, Liam talks a ton, Cattle and I, you know, generally, you know, talk a decent amount. So it's always easier to tone back comms than it is to get people who are quiet to try to start talking when that's not normal for them. So I think it's something where a few of us have kind of toned back our comms to make it less cluttered and really just try to feed the vital information rather than duplicative or repeat of information.
You all seem very confident. I mean, even in that Tomb of the Spider Queen game last week, which went crazy, you all seem like you knew exactly what you wanted to do. And even your Anduin got a little... Actually, I don't even know. I was staring at the numbers and you were just gone. But everyone just stayed in it, kept fighting, took out the enemy Malfurion, and continued.
Yeah, definitely big props to Benny. I think he played fantastic that game. I mean, he was flanking from all sorts of crazy angles. Definitely think I could have played it better, but I think right around like level 20, we had a fight where I think it was like the second straight fight where we had kind of an insane like flank by Benny, and I'm kind of just getting blessed in one shot. And basically in our comms, we just said like, okay, like we can't peel for that. Like he's going to die. They're going to peel if they're going to go from that crazy of angles, but to get to him, they're going to have to go pretty deep. And we just instantly counter on the Malfurion. So literally our call in our comms was the Malf's gonna, by trying to run up in Twilight to help in the fight, just kill him and I'll try to stay alive as long as I can. And it's basically how the last fight played out.
Well, it's very cool getting to see your hero style and your play style evolve over the CCL seasons. I've talked to you in the past about a lot of your different heroes, from your Brightwing and the Anduin reigning supreme. We even went through that Rhaegar crazy time period, which is still around. What's kind of landing as your favorite hero to play right now?
Favorite meta healer, probably Brightwing. Just kind of like the tried and true. Yeah, like at this point, it's kind of like automatic. I can kind of shut my brain off a lot of times. And
this is some really good spell shields you land, though. I mean, that's some well-timed stuff. If you're shutting off your brain for that, well done.
Well, maybe not in like every game, but I just mean like if I'm just playing Storm League or something like that, it's a nice. It's just very natural at this point. Say my favorite non-meta healer at this point is Whitemane. So I'm hoping might be able to catch a glimpse of her at some point in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think we look forward to that. As we head towards this next match, what do you think about Diamond Hands?
I think Diamond Hands is a solid team. I think they're 3-1 right now. But I think they've also played a lot of the teams lower in the standings. So last week they kind of got beat up by Wildheart. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that. I'd say kind of going into the match, expecting a win, but not thinking we're gonna roll over them or anything by any means.
Well, as this was recorded ahead of time, we'll see if that came true, because that match just actually happened. Any shout outs here you'd like to do on the way out?
Shout out to my team. Like I said earlier, it's been a really fun season getting to play with all of them. Especially Liam. Liam's someone I got to play with maybe like 3 years ago or so for a really short period of time, and enjoyed playing with him. And so it's been fun getting to play with him again after a while. Shout out to all the 30K support staff. They're great, scheduling everything and keeping us in the loop on everything. And shout out to you all for putting on the league, and really excited. Fingers crossed the last couple weeks all go according to plan, but excited for the LAN here in a couple months.
Awesome. Well, good luck to the team. Everybody watching from home, stay tuned for more CCL Season 4.